Hello and welcome to this tips and tricks video. I'm going to show you how to use the Google Cloud Shell within Google Cloud Platform to configure and manage your projects. The Google Cloud Shell is an online command line shell window that automatically connects to your Google Cloud Platform account, making interacting with your projects easy. To launch the shell, select the button at the top right of the console. The shell itself has two themes, so if you select the settings icon and use light theme, you'll see the style of the shell will change. Fundamentally, this just changes the color scheme, which is useful for users who find that the lighter background makes text easier to read. If the dark theme is more your style, you can change it back in exactly the same way. There's no difference in functionality, it's purely aesthetic, so it's best to pick whichever you find easiest to read. Personally, I like the dark theme, so I'm going to change it back. Now suppose you have a shell open but you want to be using the GCP console to view your project's usage and health information instead. You can use the minimize icon on the top right of the shell panel to hide the shell to the bottom of the console. Simply click back down on the shell at the bottom of the window to reopen the Google Cloud Shell panel. You can open multiple sessions from the Google Cloud Shell, so if you're managing multiple instances or projects, you can improve your workflow by having multiple tabs open all within the same Google Cloud Platform console view. If you enter the command gcloud projects list into the shell and hit enter, you'll see a list of all the projects that your Google Cloud Platform account is managing. In this example, I have a couple of different projects, a testing environment and a production environment. I can see them both listed there. But if you look at the session tabs within the Google Cloud Shell, you'll see they're both looking at the same project, GCP Demos Test. You can easily switch context in the shell with the command gcloud config set project, followed by the project ID, which you can see from the output from the previous command. If you run that, you'll see that the shell context switches for this tab alone, so any deployments will be to the prod project. The project name is reflected in the tab name at the top of the shell. The Google Cloud Shell also has full Git support for version control, which allows you to clone any Git repository, provided you have the appropriate access. You can run git clone followed by the GitHub URL to download that code to your GCP instance. I'm going to grab the GCP Python example code from this GitHub repo. With a repository cloned, we can use Git to see things like commit messages and branches, which is great for collaborative projects and teams of multiple people working on application development. Okay, I'm just going to jump up a directory and list all the files so that you can see that the clone command didn't affect the other work we had in the shell environment. The next thing I wanted to demonstrate was the web preview. I have a sample app which is just a simple Hello World application that I put together in a previous tutorial. So I'm going to run the command to start the app just as you would locally. For this Go app, the command is go run main.go. Okay. As you can see in the shell, Go has started my web server on port 8080. Now if you select the web preview button on the left hand side and launch, you can view the application, just as you would on localhost without having to deploy the app itself. This is great for quickly testing any changes and updates you make before you publicly deploy them with the Cloud API. To stop the preview, you can run Ctrl+C, which will terminate the web server and halt the web preview instance. The Google Cloud Shell remembers context, so it knows what you were doing the last time you used it, including things like commands, files, and folders. Even though the shell comes with 5 GB of persisting disk for your home directory, I want to clean up the Python examples I cloned earlier. So I'm going to run rm-rf followed by the name of the folder to remove the clone directory from my shell instance, just as you would if you were using the terminal or command prompt locally. So, that's it. Just a few tips and tricks to show you the kind of things you can do with the Google Cloud Shell to speed up your application development on the Google Cloud Platform. Thank you very much for watching.